இல்ல சார், இங்க தான் சார் இருக்கேன்.
The subject final year students கொஞ்சம் யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும்.
ஓகே சார், ஷூர் சார்.
ஜிபிடி சரி ரைட்டு. வேற எந்த ஸ்டாஃபும் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க, நம்மளாவது வாரத்துக்கு ஒருக்க பண்ணுவோம்.
சார் ப்ரோக்ராம் இஸ் நவ லைவ்.
ஓகே ஓகே,
ஸ்டார்ட் பா.
Yes, sir. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's learning to dance in the rain. A very good evening, everyone. Everybody has a dream of enjoying the rainy season with a cup of coffee and hot snacks in their balcony, relaxingly watching the rain. But you know what? Rain is not just to admire. We are all running out of water scarcity and even not taking concerns on rainwater harvesting. Though we are hearing this word from our childhood, some still doesn't make use of rain, and a large amount of rain goes useless to the sea. And here we go with a session that opens up our mind. Once again, a very warm welcome to the webinar on rainwater harvesting conducted by the Department of Civil Engineering of Sri Sai Ram Engineering College. Well, so I now invite Dr. Suganya, Professor, Civil Engineering Department, to welcome the gathering. Please, ma'am.
Yes, thank you for the invite. It is a pleasure, like we host a meeting regarding rainwater harvesting because this is something of importance for a quite long period, but still a profound solution has not been arrived because we still suffer in water crisis and everything. So this is some area of discussion or research which is even the need of the time for a quite longer period. So going again and again, since it sounds like what a topic like rainwater harvesting is that, because it still needs attention from everyone. An individual attention is required regarding this rainwater harvesting. And with that, a short note on the on today's speaker, Dr. Bhavati Perumal. So sir is an academician and well-experienced academician who holds 3 decades of experience in teaching. And regarding the publication records of sir, he has published 37 plus journals in reputed national and international journals. And he is a recognized research supervisor under whom 4 scholars have been doing their research, and 2 scholars have completed their research under the guidance of a professor. And he is a recipient of many awards and excellence from various organizations that appreciate academics. So with that, we would like to hear from you the rainwater harvesting, like the exact sense of rainwater harvesting from you, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Suganya madam. I just share my slide. Siksha, it is visible?
Yes sir.
Yes. Good evening, my students. Just I want to share some of the important concept of rainwater harvesting, because the northeast monsoon started from today. I have seen in the television, expecting a very good rainfall this period. As such, the Tamil Nadu will get maximum intensity of rain. The farmers will be happy to cultivate their needs. But even then, we need some kind of awareness about the usage of water, surface water and subsurface water. And this particular topic is very much useful to the final year students. I don't know how many final year students joined today evening. They have the elective subject of green building design. In green building design, 5th unit, they included these particular topics of rainwater harvesting. Actually, I have selected these topics for the betterment of all the civil engineering students, the second year, third year, and the final year. Especially for the final year students, they will get some idea about the rainwater harvesting for their elective subject. This is the presentations which I have included a lot of case studies which we have carried out during our course of research work in the past. But I am not going to cover the entire case study area because it is more than 150 slides are there. Only the important areas I will concentrate, which is needed for the civil engineering students, especially for second years, third years, and the final years. Rest of the case studies I will skip, and in brief, I will explain everything. My presentations includes introduction, usages, and advantages of rainwater harvesting system, and what are the different components we have to, as an engineers, we have to keep it in our mind, and how to design the rainwater harvesting for a better results. Then quality aspect of rainwater harvesting systems. And finally, the case studies. These are all the detailed things which we have included in the past period. In general, around 71.7% of the earth surface is filled with water. But only 3% of water can be used as potable water. The example for saving the water is a green building are being created around the world to minimize the usage of resources. The advantages of the green building is to reduce the usage of water or to minimize the usage of water, to prevent the wastage of water for the clean environment. And see, this figure will give you a clear idea about the water which are available on the earth's surface. Saline water around 97% around the world it is available, in which only 3% is the fresh water. In the fresh water, 30.1% we are getting from the subsurface, and 0.9% from other sources. In the surface water, there is runoff. That is, rainwater is only 0.3%, in which we are having river water, and we are storing water in the reservoirs, that is the lakes, around 87% of the water. This is the overall case study of the water resources which we have made in the previous period. And as I said, 97% of the seawater, 3% is the fresh water, and the rest of the waters, underground waters, are around 29%. The current population of the world is approximately 6.7 billion, with a growth rate of 80 million people every year. So the demand of the water increases. This implies that the need of fresh water is increasing by a rate of 64 billion cubic meter per year. You just imagine, 64 billion cubic meter per year is the demand what we need. And to make awareness about the usage of water, United Nations in the year 2050, 2/3 of populations, are as many of 5 billion people, will face a shortage of clean fresh water. We are in a trouble to get fresh water. So to make awareness, World Water Day is celebrated from 1993. 22nd March is the World Water Day, to make awareness about the usage of the fresh water. The population increases, but the quantity of water available for the usage is decreases. The theme of 2021 Water Day is valuing water. What is the value we are giving for the usage of water is the theme. Even our civil engineering students can also have a program for this Water Day celebrations having some kind of interactions with the students to make awareness. And this figure highlight the conservation of water. There is importance of water in what are all the different areas we are using the water. This figure will give you a clear picture. And moreover, water sustainability is another important area which we have to concentrate. That is also the need of the day. Water sustainability is not a simple concept. Integrating water quality and water quantity, water efficiency, green infrastructure, and energy water nexus. These are all the different parameters we are taking into account to find out the sustainability of the water, need of water, demand of the water. So the following figure will give you a clear picture. Industries, we need water. Community areas, we need water. Natural resources, from there we are getting the water. Like that, the resources of water we are using for different areas in different sectors. Especially my presentations includes only rainwater harvesting today evening. But when we talk about the water resources, recycling of grey water, water-wise landscaping, flush and flow fixtures. These are all the 4 different zones or the areas which we can preserve the water for the future uses. Let us pass on to today's presentation about the rainwater harvesting. The object of rainwater harvesting is, my good students, these presentations will give you some kind of motivation about the usage of water and to reduce the wastage of water, to save the water quantity for future, to meet the increased demand of the water, to reduce the runoff which choke the drains, to avoid the flooding of roads, to raise the underground water table. This is the need of the day, because the groundwater level is going down and down, to reduce the groundwater pollution, to reduce soil erosion, supplement domestic water needs. So 7 important objects today we are going to keep it in our mind for our discussion. Then when we talk about the introduction of the rainwater harvesting, you can see the figure. Figure will give you a very clear picture. In all the houses, even the government is also insisting to have rainwater harvesting, collecting all the rainwaters coming from the roof, whether it is a tiled roof or RCC roof or multi-story buildings or whatever it may be. We have to collect all the water during the rainy season, and that will be stored in a particular tank or the areas. Normally, when we see the residential areas, this rainwater harvesting tank is constructed very nearer to the boreholes. The reason is the water which are collected in the rainwater harvesting will pass on to the boreholes with some filter media. As such, the groundwater level increases during the rainy season, which will sustain during the summer season also. This is the beautiful figure which the students can get a very clear idea. See the tank, the water which are coming from the roof is collected, and garden or some other areas, the boreholes, near the boreholes, the tank is constructed, and we can pump the water stored in the rainwater harvesting tank also. We can reuse it. This is another diagrams which will give you a clear idea. The catchment area is the roof. Collection, that is the delivery, is the pipelines we are providing, which are collected in a tank, storage tank. And from the storage tank, by using motors, we can reuse it and for garden purpose or some other secondary level domestic purpose. Rainwater harvesting, the technology used for collecting and storing rainwater for human use, for rooftop, land surfaces or rock catchments. one of the world most important ancient water supply techniques. So long back itself, our forefathers were using this techniques. Even in the modern technology revolutions, also we are using this one to increase the groundwater level. Rainwater is an important water source in many areas with sufficient rainfall, but lacking of kind of conventional centralized supply system. This is one beautiful picture which I have taken from Sri Lanka. You see the rainwater harvesting tank is constructed at the top of the hill. See the beauty of the tank which is constructed, which is available even now in Sri Lanka. This is the top profile. During the rainy season, the water is stored. And from this tank, it is pumped and it is supplied to the residential area for recycling purposes. And these are all some of the sketches related to that tank, how they have constructed the figure. And the introduction continues here. Rainwater is also a good option in areas where good quality freshwater or groundwater is lacking. It could be used as a supplement to piped water supply. Rainwater harvesting is a decentralized, environmentally sound solution which can avoid many environmental problems. Centralized, conventional, large-scale water supply projects and other things. Then what are the methods which are available for rainwater harvesting? One is, as we all know, that surface rainwater harvesting during rainy season, rooftop rainwater harvesting during rainy season, and roof catchment. That is the roof is the catchment area we are considering for collecting the rainwater. Then ground catchment like reservoirs, rock catchment areas like the hilly areas, the rainwaters which are collected and stored in dams and other areas. Then collection of storm waters in urbanized catchments are recharges. This in the day-to-day life we are noticing all these four different sectors. See the clear figure. How the rainwater is collected and it is stored in a storage tank. From the storage tank, how it is used for other uses purpose. This is a groundwater catchment system. This figure will give you a very figure because I'm a little bit fast because many slides I can show you the figures which will give you a clear idea for the students community. From the top, it is collected through the pipe and it is stored in a tank. And the water which is stored in a tank can be reused or it is permitted to the ground surface. Ground catchment systems, how it varies in the reservoirs during the rainy season. Rock catchment systems. In the hilly regions, how the water reservoir. Normally, across this reservoir, this flow of the rivers, we are constructing the dams. And the upstream side of the dams, the water reservoirs are there. And we are storing the water during the rainy season in the hilly area. And the stored reservoirs, water stored in the reservoirs are used for different purposes through pipelines. The stages in rainwater harvesting. The first stage is collection stages. First, we are collecting the water during the rainy season. If we are not collecting the water during the rainy season, so what will happen is through the river, the water is permitted to join into the sea. Then there is no use for the rainwater. So the first stage is the collection stage. The second stage is the distribution stages. Here, how we are constructing the reservoirs, lake, dams, pond, and how we are storing the water. And from the storage of the water, how we are redistributing that stored water to the urban area or the rural areas. See the figure. This is in a residential area, how the water is collected and then how it is stored. Even in the underground suction tanks, the water is stored and it is pumped and it is reused for different purpose. Stage 1 is rainwater inlet. Stage 2 is suction tank. Stage 3 is collecting tank. And stage 4 is water storage tank. The connection of all these four will result in ideal distribution of rainwater harvesting collection and distribution. These two are the important parameters. Then the third level is the storage stage. Rainwater, the length of the dry season, estimated need. That is, during rainy season for a shorter period, we are storing the water, huge amount of the water. But the summer period is more. So we have to calculate what is the length of the rainy season, dry season. Throughout the dry season, the stored water during the rainy season is equally distributed in urban and rural areas by the government sectors. As such, the need of the water can be balanced. Then criteria for selection of rainwater harvesting techniques. Type and size of catchment area. Normally, this catchment area is the important sector. Based upon this catchment area only, we can find out the volume of water to be stored. Local rainfall data and weather forecast. Then family size. Length of the draft period, that is the summer season. Alternative water sources, that is the groundwater source and the surface water and the subsurface water sources. Cost of the rainwater harvesting system. So depending upon the size, depending upon the area, depending upon the strength, depending upon the population, the cost of the rainwater harvesting system varies. The components of the rainwater harvesting systems includes number 1, collection, that I said the catchment. Number 2, conveyance system, that is the distribution. Number 3, storage facilities like reservoirs, pond, lake, and so on. Number 4, delivery systems. In what way we are delivering through the pipelines. Then the 5th one is the disinfection systems. That is, while distributing the water from the reservoirs where we store, the water should be tested, and the clean and pure water should be distributed to the urban and the rural areas. See, this diagram will give you the above 5 different components of your rainwater harvesting systems. How it is collected, how it is stored, how it is distributed, how it is tested. Then the purified water is distributed to the public. Potable water is distributed to the rural and the urban areas. Then what are the uses and the advantages? And even in the advantages, what are the limitations that we have? Non-potable purpose, mainly in urban areas where the populations are more. The non-potable purpose includes gardening, flushing, washing cloth, and washing the cars. Portable purpose after ensuring quality, that is after the purification, mainly in rural and peri-urban areas. That is rural and urban. In between the rural and urban area is called as peri-urban areas. There we are using this portable purpose water for the drinking purpose. Non-potable water used for non-drinking purpose, other domestic purposes. So we are classifying the rainwater harvesting, the usages into 2. One is drinking, another one is other ordinary uses for the domestic purposes. This flow chart will give you a clear picture about the small scale rainwater harvesting system and its uses. My students, you just see the things, roof catchment systems, rock catchment systems in hilly area, ground catchment systems in ground subsurface areas, check and sand dams, that is whether it is reservoirs, domestic consumptions, that is urban and rural areas includes this domestic. Then consumptions and the other small scale irrigation and domestic supply purposes, So the water which are stored in the top 4 region, we are using for domestic and agricultural purposes. Especially in the urban areas, here I have noticed many points. The usage of water, both in a residential area, industrial area, and other area is more. Especially examples of typical options in urban area includes rainwater use in household as an supplement, public institutions which needs more quantity of water, schools and colleges, high-rise buildings in high density urban areas like apartments, collection of rainwater in industrial area. It is the need of the day to preserve the groundwater. Use of runoff in airports, collection of rainwater from public open spaces for recharge. If we fail to store this water, what will happen? This will join into the sewage water. Finally, it joins into the sea. So the huge quantity of water is permitted to join to the sea, which we are wasting for the usage of the other purposes. See, this is a very beautiful diagram. Normally, in the residential areas, we are using this rainwater harvesting system. The water which are collected from the residential zone is permitted into a well. The well is for a reasonable depth, which contains a different layers of aggregate. At the bottom, large size of coarse aggregate. At the top, small size of coarse aggregate. This coarse aggregate will act as a filtering media. The water which are collected during the time of rain season are permitted through the filtering bed, and it is permitted to the ground. As such, the groundwater level increases. This is the only techniques we have to raise the groundwater level naturally. There is no artificial methods of increasing the groundwater level which will not give a permanent solution. That is the reason government is insisting, compelling all the areas, residential area, industrial area, institutional areas, wherever it is possible to have rainwater harvesting unit to increase the groundwater level, because it is the need of the day. Population increases, the volume of the water required to balance the growth of the population also increases. But what is the real result? The quantity of water availability, whether it is surface water or subsurface water, is reduces. Advantages. What are the advantages when we introduce rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting system provides water at or near the point where water is needed or used. Rainwater is relatively clean. Very important one. Clean water is the rainwater. And the quality is usually acceptable for many purposes with little or even no treatment. If you collect rainwater directly, that is the 100% pure water. We need not go for any filtering media. System is independent and therefore suitable for scattered settlements. Local materials and craftsmanship can be used in construction for rainwater systems. It is very cheap. The locally available materials and the unskilled laborers is enough to make these rainwater harvesting systems. Provides a water supply buffer for use in times of emergency or breakdown of the public water supply systems. When the municipality supply, when we are not getting, when you store the water during rainy seasons in the residential area or some other areas, that water you can pump and you can use it. Flood control. The flood can be controlled during the rainy season, especially in the urban areas. The damages are minimized. Storm water drainage. by reducing the size and the scale of infrastructure requirements, firefighting and disaster, and water conservation, reduced groundwater exploitations and subsidence as less groundwater is required. This is very important. Groundwater, increase of the groundwater is only possible by using the system of rainwater harvesting. Then financial savings. The cost is very, very minimum when you do these projects at home. Then what are the limitations that we have to introduce this rainwater harvesting system? The initial cost, mainly of storage tank, may prevent a family from installing a rainwater harvesting system. The water availability is limited by the rainfall intensity and available roof area. Mineral-free rainwater has a flat taste. Underline, mineral-free rainwater has a flat taste, very good taste, which may not be liked by many people because the taste is almost not a pleasant one. That is why I have used the word flat taste, but it is good for the health. The poorer segment of the populations may not have a roof suitable for rainwater harvesting. That is another in the rural areas. This problems arises. Domestic rainwater harvesting will always remain a supplement and not a complete replacement for city level piped supply or supply from more reliable resources. This is the infrastructural facilities which needs to distribute the storage water through pipeline systems. Then what are the disadvantages and limitations? High initial investment cost, where it is in a residential area, it is less, but in other public area, the main cost of a rainwater collection system generally occurs during the initial construction phase or no benefits in derived until the system is completed, especially in a larger areas where in urbanizations, there the initial cost of the construction of the rainwater harvesting systems incorporating all the micro level area is more. Regular maintenance, this is very, very important, that the filter media should be cleaned regularly. Then another one, the quality. Quality is also another main parameters. The rainwater can be affected by air pollution, insects, or organic matters. The type and the kind of construction materials used can also adversely affect water quality. If we are not cleaning the tank, if we are not cleaning the filtering media, again, naturally the water is polluted. Water supply is climate dependent. This we have to accept it because during dry season, that is summer season, during a rainy season, the water quality and the water quantity plays an important role. Storage capacity is also another thing. Depending upon the size of the tank, the water which is stored is also plays a limitation. The system components and design considerations. So the major introductional areas I have completed. The second part, just I want to touch the design parameters, how to design an ideal rainwater harvesting system, and what are the different parameters we have to consider, and what are the storage systems we have to think about for an ideal design of rainwater harvesting. So just briefly, I want to include here. One is the catchment area. The second is, which is very important, one is the gutters, through which we are collecting the rainwater and we are streamlining the rainwater through a pipeline and which is stored in a tank. Then leaf screening and roof washers. Then storage tank, conveying the systems or the distribution systems, water treatment, how we have to treat that water. So these are all the things which plays an important role. Design considerations for a rooftop catchment system, whether it is a flat roof or a sloped roof, depending upon that, the catchment area differs. Based upon the catchment area, especially the roof size, the volume of the rainwater to be stored also differs. Then the second roof catchment area includes the gutters. The water which are coming from the roof is collected through a proper channel. Gutters, I will show you the gutters, the next slides. These are all some of the storage tanks, requirement of the storage tanks, the how we are collecting the water and how we are storing. This is the line sketch of that one. This is the figures which we have taken during the case studies. In public areas, even now in villages, the groundwater is pumped and it is stored in a storage tank on the ground surface for the usage of the village people. You can see these are all the diagrams. These are all the case studies which we have taken in the previous years. Kenya, Uganda, and in the underground cultures, how it is, how they are storing the water. In a very quick way, we can pass on. Rainwater tanks. Now, syntax tanks also used for storing the water. Then storing capacity varies depending upon the volume of the tank which we are using. The storage capacity can be determined by two methods. Storage required for a dry period. During the summer season, what is the quantity of water required? Based upon that, the tank capacity is designed. And during the rainy season, the water is stored. This is one data which I have given during the case studies. And based on the rainfall and the water demand period, intensity of rain also plays an important role. And storage capacity case study, how we can do is, see one good examples I have given. A school building, 65 students are studying and 5 staff members. And the average water required is 5 liters per day. The school building catchment area, roof area is 200 meters square. The runoff coefficient from the code is 0.9 we have taken. Based upon that, the average daily demand is 65 plus 5, that is totally 70 people are there. Into 5 liters per day, 350 liters we need it per day. For 365 days, how many liters we need? By average monthly demand is how much? Based upon this, the storage tank capacity can be determined. And from January to December, the rainfall intensity, January, February, March, the rainfall intensity is calculated. Based upon the intensity of the rainfall and the need, the volume of the water needed in that particular area, the storage tank is designed and we are storing the water. And this is another case study area which is calculated for calculating the storage capacity. This is water versus month. From January to December, the case study is made. And red color indicates the harvesting period, that is the rainy season. And blue color indicates the demand, need of the water for the public. And the cumulative water demand month versus in each month is also calculated. And all these data will give you a clear picture to the government sectors to calculate the volume of water to be stored during the rainy season in a reservoir, and the volume of water required during summer season for the, as per the demand of the public. Public indicates the residential area, industrial area, educational area, and so on. This is how the government sector is calculating and distributing the water supply to the people. Then I already told in the previous slide the water which are collected from the catchment area. Catchment areas are the roof, whether it is a flat roof or the sloped roof. At the end of the roof, the semicircular pipe, a plastic pipe, a big diameter pipe, if you cut it into two equal pieces, a semicircular pipe piece, you can fix it, and through that the water is collected, and the collected water is distributed to the tank through the pipeline. I will show you. You just see the figure. At the end of the roof slab, the gutters are provided from to collect the water. There are different types of gutters are also there. In the coming slide, I will show you the figure. And the water which are collected during the rainy season from the roof. Our catchment area in a residential zone is only the roof, which are collected through the pipeline and which is stored in a tank. From the tank, the water is pumped and it is purified and it is distributed for the secondary purpose. This is the purpose of the gutter I have given here. You see another diagram, the gutter, pipe, and the tank which I have shown. And these are all the size of the gutter, how you have to fix it for 1 meter squared area. See, this is another beautiful diagram for rainwater harvesting. And see the gutters, the cross section of the gutter. End of the roof, semicircular or U shape or rectangular or trapezoidal or V channel, through which the rainwater is collected and it is passed to the tank through the pipeline. Where without using these cutters, we cannot collect as a single unit. See the figure. At the end of the roofs, how the gutters are fixed and how we are collecting that. See, this is one practical case study when they are fixing the gutters. We have taken a photograph during the case study. And see, the plastic gutters are also fixed at the bottom. See, what are the different ways they are collecting the rainwater? Because this is the need of the day. These are all the size and the dimensions for, and depending upon the area, roof size, what is the dimensions of the gutters and the width we have to provide. These data are the case study data, which I am just highlighting to you. Then flush system, that is the filtering systems. After the water which are collected from the roof have some kind of impurities, and that should be treated properly. First, flush systems. We have to in detail I have written, because I don't have time to explain all these things. That is why in brief I am telling we have to filter the media. You see the figure. All the impurities are removed when you pass the rainwater through the filter media. As I already told, different size of aggregates, from smaller size to larger size, different layers. When we pass the water through these filters, the unwanted elements are removed. See the way in which how they are constructing the filter media. Directly from the gutters, the water is passed on to the filter media. Once the water is filtered, it is stored into the tank. This is another diagrams which we have taken during the construction of a tank filtering media. This is the line sketch, how we are constructing the filter media, the water which are coming from the roof, and it is stored in a tank. This another beautiful diagrams. The accumulated impurities on the roof, when it passes through the pipeline, can be removed. This is the line sketch. And these sketches will help the final year students for green building designs to represent or to present the answers for their examinations. See, this is the building. The smaller syntax tank is the filter media. The water which are coming from the roof, from the gutters, first passes through the filter media. Then from the smaller syntax tank, which are constructed on a masonry structure, is connected with another two big size syntax tank. the filtered water is stored in the tank, and it is the water stored in the syntax tank is pumped, and it is used for regular uses. This is how the rainwater is reused. The quality aspect, as I already told, rainwaters are very pure. Only the thing is, it is having a flat taste, which people may not like to drink. So you have to undergo some kind of treatment, and disinfection rainwater indicates any impurities which are present in the rainwater when it passes through the roof or through the pipeline, and that should be also treated by the filtering medias, and all the impurities present in the water should be removed. There are many environmental methodologies which are available to treat the water. I am not going in details about operations and maintenance. Periodical cleaning of the filter media are needed, and regular maintenance also very much essential. Otherwise, what will happen is some kind of bad smell which we will get it from the tank. See, the roof is cleaned properly before the rainy season. This is the picture we have taken during our case studies. Otherwise, what will happen is the dust which are present on the roof will mix with the rainwater, which passes through the media. We need a very big amount for cleaning the rainwater harvesting systems. So the roof structure is one method of cleaning this one. See here the top meshes they have provided to prevent the entry of the unwanted leaf or some other thing. See, these are all the filtering medias, different filtering medias. Normally, we can provide in residential areas. These are all the pictures which we have taken during our case studies, visiting many areas, many places. Tank dislodges and the cleaning. Then few pictures I want to show you regarding the rainwater methodologies in different countries, how they are making use of this rainwater harvesting structures. See, in Thailand, they are traditionally they are using a very big cement concrete tank, cement mortar tank. I can say cement mortar tank. From the roof, it is connected through a pipe, and they are storing the water. And the stored waters they are using during the summer season. And see in Australia how they are constructing the rainwater harvest. We cannot visit Australia, but we can see in the figure how they are constructing. I have just the case study of that area in 1994 onwards. In each year, what kind of modifications they have used. This is the exact graphical diagram of the design parameters they are using in Australia. Recycling and reusing and cleaning the filter media, all these things this diagram indicates. Nepal, like our syntax tanks they have used, what we are doing in our country, the same thing only they are using. Tokyo, this is the one case study diagrams. Similarly, Japan, of course, they are doing their innovative methodology daring to storing the water. And in Singapore also, in what way they are doing. In India, in our presidential estate, New Delhi, the whole area, how they are collecting the water and how they are storing. This is the data which we have collected from that area. And in London areas also, how it is. Social cultural considerations. What is the importance of the public sectors? How we have to equip the public awareness and educations are essential in order to improve acceptance of rainwater collection and utilization. Unless you and me are the people, if they are not ready to come forward to collect the rainwater, through the collection of the rainwater, we can use the rainwater, collected rainwater, and the water which are coming from the residential areas, from the restroom, from the kitchen, these waters can be recycled and reused. And finally, this water can be permitted through the rainwater harvesting filter media to the subsurface groundwater. So when we waste the water, we cannot get that wasted water once again. So a recycled process of reusing the water is the need of the day. That awareness we, the people, should make to the public. Effort should be made to change public perception of rainwater from being viewed as a minus to being viewed as an asset. Rainwater is an asset. We should make a kind of awareness to the public. Demonstration projects are key for improving public acceptance. As we, the civil engineering students, when you do some kind of projects to the public, you can take this kind of important rainwater harvesting areas. Because in our college, we have SDG goals. We are visiting many villages. When you visit the villages, students, you have to make some kind of projects, make awareness among the rural areas. To promote rainwater utilization, basic policies, implementations, strategies, technology development, and networking are required. Only the thing is, unless otherwise we are not making awareness to the public never change. See the figure. This is my final conclusion of my presentation. When we are not storing the water during rainy season, a woman having umbrella, but there is no water in the pipe. The reason is we failed to store water during the rainy season. If we store the water during rainy season in reservoirs, dams, lake, pond, or by using rainwater harvesting, if we increase the groundwater level, we need not worry about the source of water. Even the population increases, we need not worry about the demand of the water. My good civil engineers, have some kind of awareness to the public when you have a contact with the peoples during your visit. Highlight the importance of the rainwater harvesting. Do some mini projects during your visit in rural areas and also in urban areas. In urban areas, you can make awareness. In rural areas, you have to make some kind of projects, through projects, and you can make awareness to the people. Because the sources of getting more water in a rural area is more. And the volume of water to be stored in a rural area is very high. So very good awareness is required in rural areas than in urban areas. Save water, store water, use water, live peaceful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Agrita?
I hope my final year students will get some idea. This particular topic is available in your 5th unit. The diagrams which I have shown, the concept which I have explained, all these things, if you prepare, you can answer the questions in the 5th unit. Similarly, in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd unit also. So in view of your model examination CAT3, today I selected these topics I presented, and final year students, make use of this material. Even if you want, you can contact me, I can share the slide. In addition to the slide, I have included some of the case studies which my scholars carried out in the past. That also you can make it as a survey. My kind request to all my second year, third year, final year students are make some kind of awareness to the public to have rainwater harvesting. Even you can also have in your residential area, nearby areas, government sectors. Please make awareness. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. It was really a useful session and much interesting too. Gratitude is the healthiest of all emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. And to express
Is it audible?
Yes, yes, audible.
Yeah, okay. So good evening to one and all present here. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this webinar. Let me first of all start by giving glory to Almighty God and our founder, Chairman Lion Leo Muthu, for their blessings for this great successful event. First and foremost, I thank our HOD, Dr. S. Bhagavati Perumal sir, for the great lecture and the mind-blowing topic, rainwater harvesting, and sharing of his knowledge according to this topic. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our dynamic CEO, Sai Prakash Liamuthu, vision and support in all our successful steps. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt thanks to our principal, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, sir, and director, Dr. Porkumaran, sir, for their continued support. Thank you, sir. I thank all my faculty members for their support. Thank you all. Last but not least, I thank all my students' friends for taking part and made this event a grand success. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, Sublakshmi madam. Thank you, Ashik sir. Thank you, Suganya madam. Thank you, all my good students. Indian Green Building Council, we conducted this program, and Indian Green Building Council experts are also sharing many innovative topics for the betterment of the students related to groundwater technology, environmental science, and many more areas. My advice to all my good students and the faculty members, whenever Indian Green Building Council conduct the programs, attend, get knowledge, and make use of it. Their presentations will always in a practical oriented one, which will help the students to do live and lab projects, mini projects, and many main projects in the 8th semester. God bless you all. Thank you.
One more information to the students. Tomorrow we have IGBC webinar by 11 to 12 a.m. Okay. So member from IGBC, they are giving the webinar on retrofitting techniques. We'll share the poster and link later. Thank you. Agrita? Agatha, you there?
yes, ma'am.
I end up the session.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you all for your valuable time and patience. We're extremely privileged to have you all here today. We wish you every happiness, prosperity, and peace. Thank you once again.
Students, fill the feedback form and then leave so that you can get your certificate. Kindly fill the feedback form.